take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego. Baby, why don't we go down in Kokomo? We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. Three, two, one. Hey, y'all. Shirley Blakeney, your favorite part of the podcast. Hi.
Hello, Kelsey.
How's it going?
A little bit late again.
I know.
For the mid-month episode, but in our defense, we could not.
We could not be in the building.
We could not be in the building because it was too darn hot.
Yeah, our AC went down.
Along with, it seems like everyone else is in town.
I saw like multiple businesses that were like, we're closing early. It is so hot.
When we reopened, I had several patrons tell us like, oh yeah, our AC went out that first day too. My AC went out that first day.
I went to the dentist that Friday and they were like, yeah, we've had no air conditioning for 3 days.
Yeah, because we went from 60 degrees to 90 degrees.
Right.
And the first time everyone's air conditioning turned on, it was at max blast, and they all just gave out.
Yeah, understandable. But we're back.
We're back. It's nice and cool.
Almost too cool over the weekend.
We blasted it to cool down over the weekend, but unfortunately we were here when that was happening.
Jacob and I worked, and it was 60 degrees in the main library on Sunday. We were freezing.
Yep.
But better than being hot.
Much better than being hot.
Because we were all being big babies.
Much, much better than being hot.
I realized nobody on staff handles being warm.
No.
I mean, we all were big old
People
babies.
aren't meant to be that hot.
Yeah, you're right.
And humid.
Ugh. Like a lizard.
Yeah, like a lizard.
Like a lizard. Very unfortunate. Okay, well, what's new? Since we last spoke.
Oh, I finished my degree.
Yay! Oh.
You gotta hold it.
Oh, yay.
We're 90% of the way there on the sound.
I was really hoping it'd be that funny sound on accident. But yeah, Jacob graduated.
Yeah, technically yesterday. I just wasn't there.
Yeah, you were with me.
Oh yeah, I forgot
In
we
the
were
igloo. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a long time coming.
A long year? It took a year? Took 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I started in the fall of 2020. A perfect time.
Right. A lot of downtime.
A lot of downtime.
A lot of nothing to do. You
it
really did.
It was a good time to get things done.
Right. Like
I'm very glad I did start then.
Perfect time for you to sit down and do it.
Yeah.
So congratulations. I'm proud of you. And I watched you. I almost said struggle through it, but you didn't struggle. But you know what I mean? It was just a lot of work.
Just having to do things all the time.
It was a lot. You weren't really up to like our normal shenanigans for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I've been dead in the back of the head.
Yeah, just like...
Because the back of my head has been occupied.
Right. So I would be like, Jacob, let's do this shenanigan. And I would just get a very blank stare. So I'm very excited for the old you to come out to say, that's stupid, but sure. So, well, that's good news.
Yeah, I'm a librarian.
Yay. So exciting. Do you feel different?
Not particularly.
Okay.
But when I think about it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Right. You
That's
got
cool.
a lot of new knowledge in there.
Yeah, that's the thing about getting an education and anything is like you get to the end and it's not like, it's like a birthday, you know? You don't feel that whole year all at once.
Right.
You get to the end of an education, like a degree, and it's like, well, I knew what I knew yesterday and the day before.
Right.
You can't think about what your head was like 2 years ago.
Sure. But it'll pay off and it'll be worth it. And yeah.
It was certainly interesting, and I'm very glad I did it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anything else? You graduated. Your cat's moving to Mexico.
Possibly. He might have to get a passport.
That's the cutest, dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to stay or go, or
Mm-hmm.
because my brother who's moving into my parents' house has animals.
I
The
forgot your
number of
brother's moving
which I
there.
don't know anymore. He's got a lot of kids too. Like I don't know.
Right. Well, the kids and the animals just kind of blend together.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I've realized. When I count my kids, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it.
Well, he's just had a lot of. They like take in animals a lot, so they've just and then
Same.
give away animals like when someone wants one.
Oh, sure.
So
That's like Sarah and Robbie.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot like that,
Very
but
much
only
so.
traditional.
Sure. Not like ducks and random stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, my little kitty might be. I mean, he's old now. He's 14 years old.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was born in 2008.
Holy cats.
He's lively.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Never been better. Little Fez. Well, that's exciting news.
Yeah. Very interested to see how it goes.
Yeah. Me too.
I'll see him tomorrow.
Oh,
I'll
that's
ask.
good.
I'll ask how he feels about it.
You should bring a mic with you. Fez. Tell the world how you're feeling.
He's very vocal.
Is he?
Yeah.
So is Petey. My cute little stray. Okay. Well, exciting times.
Yeah. Your house is almost done.
My
Well,
house is
We've said this many times, but it got painted.
I know. It's so close. They're painting right now. I just went by on my lunch break and they're there right now painting. And then my husband is actually at Eckerd's right now paying for our carpet that they'll pick up this week. So flooring should be in shortly.
Cabinets in?
Yeah, cabinets are in.
Countertops?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Those will go in. I'm assuming after they get the paint all
Right.
done. We walked
Right.
in Saturday. And I should like add that this was 7:30 p.m. So it's like getting darker outside.
Oh, yeah.
And the windows are all covered. And I'm like walking through the house like, I love it. The paint's perfect. You know, we picked one solid gray for the whole house.
Yeah.
And Cole is just like silent walking behind me. And I'm like, I'm not super observant. So it took me a few minutes to like get past my own feelings because I'm like a narcissist. And I was like, I love this. Wow, I'm a paint genius. Sherwin-Williams, call me. Like, I have great taste. And I'm like walking through. And then I'm like, oh no. Cole hasn't said anything. And so I turn around and he's just like observing the house. And I was like, so what do you think? And he just like spiraled and was like, do you think it's too dark? It's really dark in here, right? It's very, very dark. And it's not dark. I mean, you saw a picture of it. It's
Yeah.
like a pretty medium gray.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not bright,
no,
but it's
no,
not dark.
It's not like charcoal.
No.
It's just gray.
It's not even dark. Yeah.
No, it's
Not
just
even dark.
gray. It's gray.
Yeah.
And it was, like I said, getting
It's
dark.
more gray than off-white.
Right,
You
which is
know?
what we had this exact conversation, Cole and I. And he was like, I don't want white. I don't want cream. I don't want browns. I want gray. So we picked a freaking gray. And now he's like, it's too gray. It's too dark in here. It's really gray. Everything's sad. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And also, like, it might be because there's a storm rolling in. Like, there are thunderstorms rolling into the area.
Yeah.
So it's dark outside. The windows are completely covered in, like, in brown paper. So there's no natural light.
Yeah.
There's no light fixtures in there. It's just a dark gray room.
You're selling it.
Dark, comma, gray. Not dark gray. Get it straight for the record in case he's listening to this. For the record. But yeah, he was like full on panicking. So then I start panicking because I'm like, great, we're building this house. We wasted all this time and now
I mean,
hates
the
it.
paint's the easiest thing to change. You
Yeah,
can
but-
change it after you move in.
I know, but like in my head, that wasn't like a viable option. I was just like, we have to burn it. Like we just have to start all over. He's right. It's really sad in here.
Just throw a few light gray accent walls in there, you know?
Oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh. So then he saw that I was spiraling because then I'm just like following behind him and I'm like, wow, he hates the house. Everything sucks. And I went outside to like sit on the front porch and he was like, I love the color. it's perfect. Everything's great. I'm happy again. Like, it's great. And so I don't know if he like took a Valium before he came outside to talk to me or something, because his mood was like instantly changed.
My parents' house that my brother will be taking, the whole house has been painted a lot, but the living room, I'm pretty sure, has 12 coats of paint on it.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Well,
Because we've lived there since 2003.
oh
And
yeah,
times have changed
sure.
many times.
Do you remember like in the 2000s when it was cool to like dip a sponge?
That was in that
Did
house.
you? My parents had gold sponge paint.
Yep. We
Like
didn't
a
have gold.
yellow
but
gold.
Yep.
So awful.
Yep.
My dad might still have that. So I know my dad's not listening though. I know for sure. I was going to apologize, but that would be just a wasted time. So.
Yeah. Once we painted it twice in a week in the living room.
Why? They didn't like it?
Yeah.
Too
essentially.
sad?
I think it was too dark.
Too sad? Just a bunch of sad paint?
I think we did a layer and when we paint, we also paint 2 layers.
Ew.
Because that's usually what you need.
Right.
So there's probably 24 layers
Oh my
of
gosh.
paint on those walls.
Well, and paint is like super expensive right now,
Yeah. So
along
is
with everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's like part of why I started to spiral, because
Life's
I was like,
expensive right now.
oh no.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Hadley, you don't get to go to St. Francis this year. Your tuition is on light gray paint. Yeah, that's where I was at in my head. So, you know. But yeah, house is almost done. Hopefully by the that's a lie. I was going to say mid-month episode of June, I'll be moved in. There's no way.
In 1 month, yeah.
No way.
Maybe.
Okay, we'll see. We'll check back at the mid-month episode.
We'll give you an update.
We'll give you an update. If it's built, we will be coming to you live from my new sad house. Other
You'll
than
hear
that,
the fresh echo.
yeah, you'll hear it. Lots of acoustics in there.
There was also an eclipse last night. Did you see that?
Nope.
It was the longest name I have ever seen for the kind of moon it was. The words blood and flower were both in the name.
Okay.
It was a something flower blood moon.
Interesting.
But there was a total eclipse last night of the moon.
Total eclipse of the moon. Turn around. Yeah, I had no idea. Oh man.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
Did
It went
you
through a
go
lot of
outside and
colors.
see it?
I saw it, yeah, a few times.
Uld you just go out and look? Did you
It's the moon, so yeah.
Right. Makes sense. I was like,
There's no admission fee.
I was gonna say, did you need a telescope or something? I don't go outside that often, so who knows? I also like to go to bed before it's dark out.
Well, it was a super moon, so it was real big and close. And then as it got covered, because it went totally dark for a second. Mm-hmm. But like as it got covered up by the Earth's shadow, it like changed colors a bunch.
Okay, started sleeping. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Love that for astronomers everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of the outdoors.
I mean, it's like space.
That too.
It's like
Not.
even for
Can't imagine I'd enjoy that either. I did sit outside for a while, which is probably why my nose is running.
yeah.
Allergies. I sat outside over the weekend.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. Just wanted some credit where it's due.
Well, we were planning on talking about books today, Kelsey, since we don't do that
Well,
very often. And we missed our book recommendations. I mean, we consciously didn't do it in the last episode.
right.
The May episode of the podcast. We just had a lot to talk about. And we're going to have a lot to talk about next time, too. Because it will be the beginning of summer reading.
Yay. I get so overwhelmed with SRP. It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
Well, I feel like
It's oceans of
oceans
work.
of yeah, oceans of Zoom meetings. And being on the committee, I feel like everybody's like, "Hey, Kelsey, this patient
Yeah.
has a question," and I'm like, "I also have a question." Just joking, but I know my stuff. But yeah, I get overwhelmed with SRP, but I also love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, SRP, log your books. What books are you going to be logging, Jacob? Because I know you're reading right now.
Well, see, I haven't read for leisure
Ever?
in a long time.
Ever.
Long time.
Since you read Harry Potter 15 years ago?
I read a book right before I started this degree. And I've read things. But especially when I'm in school,
Right.
you have no motivation to read.
Right, because you're
Yeah.
reading such
I had to read.
stupid stuff.
And had to read about libraries.
Right.
So,
And that's some dense
yeah.
material you were reading.
So I got rid of those things about and I'm reading a new book about libraries.
Right. Why?
I don't know. It just seemed it seemed interesting, so I picked it up.
Okay.
It was when it came through the new books.
How far are you?
Oh, that far?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not through the prologue. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I don't even remember now.
It's been so long.
Prologues? Yeah, prologue.
Holy moly.
But I like to read for a nonfiction book, it's nice to read the prologue.
You have to.
Yeah, before you get to chapter 1.
Okay, so what's it called?
It's called The Library.
Okay.
A Fragile History. And by Andrew Pettigrew and Arthur der Wedewin, probably German. I don't know.
Very interesting.
But it's really well written, and it has been enjoyable to read so far. The first 20 pages that I've gotten into. But it's going to go over, the whole history of libraries and different kinds of libraries and all sorts of things. But yeah, it's just been a nice, calming, well-written.
Yeah.
And strangely large. Look at how large this print is.
Oh.
It makes me enjoy reading.
Yeah, I know. That's how you know you're getting older. When I picked up a book the other day and it had small print in it and I was like, oh, I can't check that out. And then I was like, oh, no.
Well, it's also like you flip the page faster.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I'm reading fast.
Yes. Yes. I'm a big fan of large print material. I know. Gosh. Crazy, right?
But yeah, I've been enjoying that. I've picked it up 3 times now to read a little bit here and there.
That's pretty good for you.
Yeah.
haven't.
I've read one whole book like before
Right.
the pandemic. No, in the middle of the pandemic before the degree started.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And I hadn't read a nonfiction book in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'd only read a couple of fiction books. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I should really be,
Well, you saw me. I was excited when you said, I'm reading a book. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You're reading a book?
One of these days we're going to read a book and have a book club episode.
I know, but we can't agree on anything.
Well, you did read the book that we were going to read.
Cultish? I didn't finish it.
it.
I could not get into that book. I tried. I even checked out the audiobook. Couldn't do it. I thought it would read like a podcast. Kind of like remind me of a podcast.
Sure.
Because I listen to true crime podcasts, so I was like, surely I can listen to the book. And it'll be like somewhat similar.
Yeah.
And it just was not. But it's not so much crime. It's like just like cults.
Yeah, it's not a crime book.
Right. I thought it would be more about...
It's called The Language of the Masses.
Yeah, I didn't read the whole title. I just saw cults and my eyes were like...
Because it's about like the WeWork and those other new agey...
Right.
Strange situation.
Lululemon.
Yeah.
Weird pyramid scheme cults, which I'm also interested in.
Yeah. But not enough to read a book.
Right. Right. I'd rather read about it on Reddit.
Yeah.
Or on like my aunt's Facebook or something. Yeah. Well, I have been reading a book that has a very... I was going to try to play a song from the soundtrack, but I don't want to get sued.
Yeah, we better not.
I feel like you can play 10 seconds without getting sued, but I would rather not chance it. I read Out of the Corner by Jennifer Grey. Yeah, from Dirty Dancing.
Yes.
Her new memoir?
Mm-hmm.
Autobiography? What's the difference between an autobiography and a memoir?
That's a good question.
Don't know the answer?
It's a good... Yeah, no.
Hey Siri. What's the difference between a memoir and an autobiography?
I wonder if there is one.
Here's what I found from wikipedia.org. While an autobiography typically focuses on the life and times of the writer, a memoir has a narrower, more intimate focus on his or her own memories, feelings, and emotions.
Ah,
Okay, that
Sure.
makes sense.
yeah.
And that makes this is a memoir.
Right.
So, if you're a fan of Dirty Dancing, highly recommend
My mom's
it.
favorite movie.
Also mine,
Yeah.
Mrs. Dudley.
Yours or your mom's?
Mine.
Okay.
My mom has terrible taste. Yeah, my favorite movie of all time is Dirty Dancing, and the book is so good. Really sad.
Yeah. A
Lot
lot of
of-
memoirs tend to be sad.
A lot of... That's a new freckle. A lot of cocaine.
Uh-huh.
It was the 80s, so...
Hollywood.
Right. Specifically, Hollywood and New York in the
Yeah.
80s. So,
They were wild.
yeah.
Was she wild?
She was wild,
Because,
man.
I mean, she did... You told me the other thing she did the other day, and I had no idea.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
She's
Anything else?
his sister. Those were like her two main ones.
Okay.
Yeah, she did like some small roles in stuff that like bombed in the office.
Some bit parts.
In the office.
The box office.
The box office. What the heck? But yeah, the book is great. She really dives into her life story and the good and the bad. But it's also really good to like recap Dirty Dancing. Because I love that movie so much.
Was that a big focus of the book?
Yes. The second half was a lot about Dirty Dancing. And she won like season 11 or something of Dancing with the Stars.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's fun too. I don't watch that show.
Yeah, I'd never seen it.
Would make sense though that she was good at it.
Yeah.
But fun fact, her and Patrick Swayze did not get along when they filmed Dirty Dancing.
Didn't get along.
Mm-hmm. You'll have to read the book. You don't want to read the book. It would not interest you in the slightest bit.
No, probably not. Biographies are
Not your
autobiographies, memoirs. Not necessarily. Like, it's got to be someone that I already
Know about?
and like care
Sure.
like a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I have to have a reason to want to know more, like a lot more about their life.
Right. Right. If there was one star that you could, or just anybody, doesn't have to be like a celebrity, that you could read a memoir by, who would it be?
A memoir by.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's plenty of. There's interesting people. There's some authors
Ugh.
that would be interesting. My go-to is always anyone from the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I was like hoping you would just say Glee for some reason. You're like, naturally, I'd love anything written by the cast of Glee. Be like, yes, please. Be like, actually, they already have some books out. Let me recommend them to you because I've read them multiple times.
I was gonna say, are there any?
Yeah, Leah Michelle wrote a book, and then Naya Rivera,
Oh,
R.I.P.,
yeah.
wrote a book. It's pretty good.
Huh.
She talks badly about Leah Michelle in it,
That's right.
as do most people. So here we are. But yeah, Out of the Corner, which is a little pun on Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner
Yeah.
from the movie.
Was that her real name in the movie?
Her real name in the movie is Frances
Oh.
Houseman, but she goes by Baby.
Frances is an interesting name.
Yeah,
I had an Aunt Frances.
I like the name Frances.
She was not a nice person.
I think her name was Frances in the movie, but she goes by Baby.
Yeah.
Baby Houseman.
I've seen the whole movie
Yeah,
because every single time it's on, my mom will watch it on TV.
me too. It's like the one movie that I'll sit and watch because I do not like watching anything,
Yeah.
and I love that movie. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I just finished it last night, and it was really good.
Did you get started on Molly Shannon?
No, that's next on my list.
Yeah.
Hello, Molly. That's
Yeah.
the title. It's the best. I did read, I don't know if I talked about this one. Did we talk about books last time on the pod?
We completely skipped over any book recommendations. So.
For like a while, because I read a book called Daughter by Kate McLaughlin.
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
It's a YA thriller that
A YA thriller.
I had it on order here, and so I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. So I decided to read it, and it was risque for YA. I was like, because
Yeah, it's such a broad.
it really is. Like, this is definitely for like the older.
I would say at least half of the people that check out YA are over 21.
Are adults,
Yeah,
right?
Like not even over 18, like over 21.
Right. So, yeah, it's about this girl, and she's a high school senior, and she finds out that her father was like a super notorious serial killer.
Fun.
Yeah. Which
She just didn't know it was her dad.
she had no idea.
Okay.
Like but she had like heard of this guy because he's like famous, like he's like a Ted Bundy.
Okay. We have a book in nonfiction from
BTK's
BTK's
daughter.
daughter. Yeah.
I haven't read that yet, and I really want to.
Yeah.
I might check that out today. Since I don't have a whole stack at my house already. But yeah, so like growing up, her mom had been super overprotective, you know, whatever. And then one day she's at home and the FBI shows up, and her father is dying in a prison and said that he would release names of people he had killed because they think he had killed more people.
Uh-huh.
But his like stipulation was that his daughter had to come meet him. And
Okay.
so that's how she finds out that her dad was this awful dude.
Huh.
But it was like, I don't know, just like, and I'm not prude. Or at least I don't think I am. But reading it, I was like, whoa. Yowza. Like I wouldn't even recommend it for like older high school kids. Like as a librarian, I wouldn't feel comfortable being like, hey, take this home and read it.
Yeah.
Don't tell your mom. You know, like, so I don't know. But you couldn't really put it in adult because it's narrated by a teenager. And I think that's what threw me off so bad was like the way that it was written, like you're in the head of this teenager.
Uh-huh.
So like the thoughts are so juvenile, but then like these majorly adult situations are also happening.
Yeah.
Very strange.
It's
It was a good book though.
reflective of reality.
Right.
I suppose.
Yeah. And I don't know, I'm like, maybe being a mom has changed me, and that I'm like, I don't want to believe that my kids like know about things that they for sure know about, you know?
Yeah.
Because like in my head, I'm like, my kids don't know what drugs are, never heard of sex. But like the reality of it is, I know what their friends are saying on the playground because I was that friend that was saying all the stuff you shouldn't. So it's not great. So yeah, that was
Life, huh?
I mean, yeah, just giving you the hard truths today. It was a good book though. I didn't love it, but it was decent.
Yeah.
But definitely recommend it for like older YA users, you know? So what else? Have you read anything else?
I have a book talker that I like.
Oh, okay.
Let me see what their name was again. On TikTok, it's at Jen Insight,
Okay.
like an insight into something.
Uh-huh.
So JENINSIGHT.
Mm-hmm.
She just does really like my kind of fiction.
Okay.
Talks about interesting books.
Okay.
And does nonfiction too. But if you're looking for like a new alternative look at books on TikTok, really great person to follow. Does makes very good videos. Where they say, you know, just enough to get you interested,
Right.
and there's a wide diversity of books that she talks about. And then she also does like some fun little videos where she like takes the popular book talk books and just guesses the summaries.
Oh,
And it's usually pretty accurate.
that's hilarious. I'm really picky about book talk because I don't know. I feel like you don't see a lot of new stuff on book talk. Like it's just like
Which is
recycled,
strange.
older books that like one person started reading. And so everybody, it's a cult. It's cultish. Reverting back to that book that I couldn't get through. But that's like what it reminds me of. It's like all these people are like, oh, you have to read this book. You have to read it. And that's something that was published back in 2016. And isn't really that good, in my opinion, most of the time. Like,
Yeah.
those really popular ones are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that's what the thing with everything on TikTok that's like mega pop, the people that have the most followers and views are not people that I follow, like, or see their content.
Well, and
it's much more niche.
Right. And from like a library standpoint, it makes it hard because then like we have people coming in and requesting these books. My skin is peeling off my finger. But we have people like coming in and requesting these books.
Yeah.
And then we're having to like spend our budget on stuff that was published, over 5 years ago, which is
10 years ago.
hard to do.
Yeah.
But
it's what they want
if
to
it
read,
circulates,
happy to do that. But
well, it's like Colleen Hoover.
and there have been a few people that come in to get those books and then will come back and get recommendations for like newer stuff, which is always interesting to see. And then it was really nice that you and Sarah just updated all of those readers advisory
That took a long time.
brochures.
I eventually just gave up. Poor Sarah. I was like, I'm at my max capacity with readers advisory. I can't.
Yeah.
My eyes were like crossing while I worked on it. And I had spent so many hours on Goodreads. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to go be with the people. I need to talk to a human. So, yeah. Book talk. Lots of stuff. I'm in a group chat with 3 other ladies. One is my cousin Rachel that you know. And then her sister Lane. And Lane's really good friend Mary. And we're in a group chat that we just like talk about books. It's kind of like a book club, but we don't ever meet up in person because we don't like going out. We don't like gathering, so. But they're big into book talk. That's what that reminded me of. Lane and Mary like just really started diving into reading. So.
Yeah,
they've like never been readers really.
Yeah.
I don't know about Mary. I don't know her as well, but I know Lane like just recently really started digging into reading, and she reads like a book a day now.
So crazy.
It's crazy.
The ways that, things change over time and people, come back to the library for the first time in their life. And
15 years or something. Yeah.
It's always interesting.
It's really bizarre. I made Lane a library card, but she still just keeps buying books, which I'm like, that's fine because she donates them here after she reads them. So I'm like, hey, you should buy XYZ because I want it for my section. And just set her up to keep buying and, fill in the shelves. So, but yeah, book talk is so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just got to find the people that you like.
You'll find your people.
Yeah.
You just got to keep cycling through them.
TikTok's pretty good at
you're
figuring out what you
weirdly
like.
good. I found like some people on Instagram, the, bookstagrammers. I found quite a few. And it's kind of like that. Like once you find your people, then you find those accounts that you're like, okay.
Just engage. Like once you find one you like, just engage with it a little. Like some of their posts.
Right.
And then you'll get similar things.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what book talk reminded me of was Bookstagram. Well, anything else you want to recommend? What are you going to read next?
Oh, this is a very long book, so I don't know.
Yeah, I meant like 2024.
I can just plug my nonfiction section. I got a
Okay.
lot of new stuff. I had to restock our classic philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some new, not new, but
I was gonna say,
Aristotle and
what?
Plato, Nietzsche and Descartes.
Okay.
A lot of new philosophies.
I'm sure I'm on hold for those.
And then I've got a ton of animal books.
Okay.
Ton of animal books. Any animal you can think of, there's probably a book about it that was purchased in the past 6 months, sitting
Okay.
on that shelf.
Love that.
And as always, we've got a lot of cookbooks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cookbooks. And then right now, I've been finding myself buying a lot of sports books.
You are a sporty guy.
I don't know, why, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they just, become... I don't know if more are coming out than normal.
Yeah.
Or what the situation is, but I've been buying a lot of sports books.
Well,
It's been interesting.
I do love a good sports book.
And then I've got all kinds of new history, and then I'm really happy this finally came in. I got that History of Missouri,
Oh, yeah.
6 volumes.
Whew.
It goes from pre 1700 whatever, all the way up through I think it's actually ends in 2003.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping volume 7 comes out soon from 2003 to 2023, because
Interesting.
they're around, once you get in a little more modern, they go around every 20 years.
Oh, okay.
And then right next to that, I've got the history of the Ozarks specifically. So.
Oh my gosh. I do love the Ozarks.
Oh yeah, you're an Ozark girl.
I am an Ozark girl. Woo! Loud and proud, baby.
She's out there on the tube.
I'm out there on the pontoon. My in-laws are selling their place at the Ozarks.
Oh no.
I was like, are you thinking about any of us? Where the heck am I supposed to take my kids? That's the only vacation we can afford. Just joking. I'm hoping my next vacation is in Chicago with Harry Styles.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Just joking. That's never going to happen.
It's crazy.
I mean,
It's a lottery to buy a ticket.
yeah. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mr. Styles. He's a global icon and happens to be one of my favorite people in the world. But he is on tour right now and going to Chicago. And just to log in and purchase tickets, you have to enter a lottery to be given a code to try to buy tickets. Like, this code doesn't even insure you tickets. It just says, hey, you can log in that day. Try your best.
That's insane.
I know. And he's playing 5 nights in each place.
But how many places?
So many.
Oh, really?
So many places.
I thought it was limited.
No. He's already been through America one time. He's coming back around.
Yeah, but
he was
because
in
he's
St.
not even
Louis.
going to Kansas City.
I know. He went to St. Louis.
Yeah.
We missed it.
So it's there's lots more places you could go.
I know. So I entered in the lottery just to see. Well, first I got a hold of my husband and I was like, hey, if I were to win a lottery for Harry Styles tickets specifically, could we go? Not just the lottery in
The
general.
best kind of
The best kind of lottery, not my regular scratchers that I hide in my purse. I'm talking a real life lottery of Mr. Styles. Could we go? And he was like, I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm going to need that in writing. Need you to sign it because I'm buying the tickets if I get a chance. But right now I'm trying to convince him to go to Lizzo in October.
That seems more attainable.
It's in Kansas City. You just got to log in and buy the tickets.
Yeah.
No lottery. And I feel like that's one of those situations where it's when you're close to somebody that you want to be close with, hey, I know this person and this person knows Harry Styles.
Uh-huh.
So I'll be in the same room as Lizzo, who is besties with Harry.
Uh-huh.
So maybe I'll feel a connection.
What if he pops up?
I would. Are you kidding me?
She popped up at his concert.
Are you kidding me? I would have a mental breakdown.
What if he popped up behind your seat?
Just next to me?
Yeah.
I'd look over and I'm like, hey, Cole.
And then
And it's Harry Styles. And I'd be like, what? What if he popped up here? And was like, hey, do you guys have any library card? I was trying to go British and then I went country really fast. It's those Ozark roots. But what if he popped up and wanted a library card? Or what if he was like, what's Libby? And I'd be like, here, take a seat.
There have been some fun articles recently about celebrities reading books. I don't know if I brought this one up last time.
No.
But there was,
That sounds like my dream article.
there was one that's it was trying to figure out, I didn't get to read it yet, who the mysterious, they called them celebrity book stylist was. Because you know how there's been all these celebrities recently spotted like with books.
Yeah, but I feel like you've been holding out on me. This is like my dream conversation.
We'll talk about it. I'll find the art. It was on New York Times, so I have access to it now.
Oh, did that work out?
Yeah.
Hey.
So I'll find the article and we'll talk about it in the main episode.
In the June episode?
Because the one, like, I remember Grimes was reading some, like, the Communist Manifesto or something.
The baby name book is what she should be reading.
And I remember Andrew Garfield's been spotted with, like, books recently. And so just like a bunch of people were spotted with books recently that like are clearly trying to send a message about
What they're reading.
like what they believe.
Right.
Because
right.
they have this book in their hand.
Right.
So I think the article's about like, it seems like someone who knows about books is like
Is being like, hey, walk around with this.
Being hired to be like, you know,
hey, hold this.
this will make you look good. This will be good publicity.
Yeah. Speaking of celebrity books, My Favorite Murder is coming out with a new book.
Oh, nice.
Apparently. Yeah.
I'll have to get it.
Oh, I'll green card that so fast. I'm going to look it up today.
Well, I'm glad we had some time to talk about books today.
This was a fun one.
We'll get this out as soon as possible. I'm hoping that you guys will be listening to this by the end of today.
I'm going to issue a public apology for my half British, half Australian, half...
I will be sending this to Harry.
Ozark. So. Oh, hi, Harry. I'm so sorry. And if you have an e-reader that you don't know how to turn on, give me a call. Because I will link that so fast to your Amazon account before you can say, watermelon sugar high. Okay, public apology for that too. Wow. We better stop before I have to really, actually apologize to people. Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.